Boston College High School, BC High, a Jesuit Catholic college prep school for boys with a 152-year history here in Boston. Now, its mission has always been to form leaders of competence, conscience, and compassion. Now, for many of us who graduated, in full disclosure, I am a proud member of the class of '85. BC High definitely taught us to be a man for others. Now, in 2007, BC High's Arupa division opened for 7th and 8th graders, extending that Jesuit educational experience to a younger generation. Now, this Wednesday, BC High will be hosting an information night starting at 6 p.m. for prospective families for 7th and 8th graders. Now, the evening is designed to provide students and parents with more insights into the great BC High experience. To tell us more about the night, BC High, and the Arupa division, we've invited Vice Principal of the Arupa division, Bob Hamblet, and BC High Junior Delano Franklin from the class of 2017. Sounds like a futuristic one for me since going back to the 80s, but welcome to Urban Update.
Thank you.
It's a pleasure. Bob, I'm so glad you're here. I know it, but for those who may have heard what BC High is about, give me your elevator pitch of really what BC High means for you anyways.
Sure, you know, it's a great school with a wonderful combination of a rigorous academic program and a focus on building character, on helping boys to become, as you said, men for others. People are going to really look out for the other people around them in the community. The smaller communities they're in right now and the greater communities they'll be part of down in the future. Yeah,
and what I like about BC High, and we've got some photos that show all the different aspects of BC High, because it's a great school for sports. We see the baseball team up here now, and I remember we were pretty good at that. And in the classroom, obviously a big thing, but I think the two areas that sometimes get overlooked, at least not talked about as much as I'd like, is the spiritual part, like you said, and that's a big part, companions in faith. And then when I was there, you know, it was more into sports, but also this arts and culture as well. So it's full-rounded school.
Very rounded. We just built a brand new arts building a couple of years ago to add music into the program, or to expand the music into the program, to add new art rooms into it. We've got a great drama program both in the 7th and 8th grade and in the high school. So arts are definitely a very big part of the program at BC High.
But of course, BC High is staff and students, and we have a student here. ¿Cómo estás? How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. So you're a junior.
Yep.
3 years into the journey.
5 years now because of Arupa. Yeah.
That's right. So you started 7th and 8th grade, right?
Yep.
So tell me about it, because you know BC High pretty well.
Well, starting in 7th and 8th grade, I was coming from Chelsea. I didn't know a whole lot about the school. I didn't really know many people going into there, but now, 5 years later, it's the Jesuit High School of Boston, but like for us, it's a home. It's where I spend the majority of my waking hours, and it's really one of my favorite places to be.
Yeah. Now, you've been there longer than most, because again, when I was there, it was only 4 years. Now, at the end, it'll be a 6-year experience for you. But what's kind of been the overwhelming kind of trait? Is it the spiritual part? Is it the camaraderie with the guys? Is it the education? Or is it kind of a combination of everything?
I suppose something that's common in everything is the passion you see in people, that regardless of what people are interested in, if it's academics, if it's arts, if it's sports, that people are passionate about things, that they know what they're doing.
Yeah. Now, when I was at BC High, we used to always know every kid by like the town they came from. You know, Steve Kelly was from Quincy, Kevin Powers was from Dorchester. So where are you from?
I'm from Chelsea.
So the kids know you from, you know, Chelsea and the other guys?
Yeah.
So you commute every day?
Yes.
Now, I want to come back to here, because that's always a question, right? You're in Dorchester, but you get kids from everywhere. The commuting is part of the educational process.
It is. We have, you know, 1,600 students total. Probably 1,100 or 1,200 of them come by public transportation every day, whether it's the T, commuter rail, buses. For some guys coming from far out suburbs, coming on that commuter rail every day when they're 12 years old is a real education, and they're starting to get to know the city of Boston and becoming part of the urban scene here in Boston as well.
Good. Now, I do want to remind folks that this Wednesday, and we'll put up the information now, you have a great information night for 7th and 8th grade families. Tell me a little bit about what's going to go on there.
Sure, a little bit different experience for the parents and for the students, so we want both of them to come. Both will get to come in, hear some speakers. We have a student panel that the students and parents can ask questions, but the students will also go off and get some experiences doing things in some of our spaces, in the art room, the science room, the maker space, and the gym, get to know some of the kids who are there now, get to see some of the teachers that way. Parents will get to ask some questions to the teachers and administrators in a second panel that they get to be part of. Yeah. So it's a nice experience for both.
So I'm going to come back to you. Your classmates, how do you describe the friendships you've already have? Maybe some from 7th grade already and some that came in later. You think you'll know these guys 10, 20 years from now?
Absolutely. I think the connections you form with your classmates are one of the best parts of BC High. I know, like, the friends I formed in the Arupe division particularly, and also the friends I made freshman year, that they're probably going to be some of my best friends for the rest of my life.
Absolutely, I can tell you that. Absolutely, that's going to happen. I'm glad you said that. Now, speaking of that, I want to, Bob, if you'll indulge with me, I want to go back to the future a little bit, to 1985. Actually, the movie did come out. We've got some photos of some guys. Do you know these guys? 1985, Mr. Hughes and Mr. Argento.
Yes, Mr. Hughes is our principal. Mr. Argento actually hired me a number of years ago when I taught social studies, and he was the social studies department chair.
Now, I don't put their first names for a reason. I can't call them by their first name. To me, they're still Mr. Hughes. And of course, these guys, very important in the religion department, right? Mr. McHugh and Mr. Skipper?
Exactly. Yeah, Mr. McHugh used to have a desk right next to mine. Mr. Skipper and I coached together for a few years. Still great parts of the school.
And they're still there. Now, do they look like that anymore? Or?
No, Mr. McHugh was my scripture teacher last year. He looks a bit different.
A little bit more gray hair. That's about it. They still look good. I saw them recently, and I actually got him on Facebook, Mr. McHugh. Yeah, great. And Mr. Argento. I got to give him a big shout out too. Yeah, I think that BCI is not just the students, the academics, but it's the teachers. Right. Those are guys that, like I said, I'll always remember them. Well, I look forward to seeing you guys maybe later on this year. We'll do another kind of BC High Catholic education experience. Thanks, Bob. Good luck Wednesday.
Thank you very much.
Good. And keep up the grades. Don't get jugged. Have you gotten jugged?
Maybe once.
What is jugged? For those who don't know, Bob, tell them.
It's the Jesuit term for detention.
Well, we call it justice under guard,
that a lot of people think of, yes.
Detention. All right. Well, thank you for the memory lane, and good luck.
Okay.
All right, in just a few moments, another journey from a man from Roxbury, now inspiring others through yoga. All the details right here on Urban Update.